What's up, guys, and welcome back. Now, I know you're all expecting me to do Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl talk, but I'm not going to do that today because one of my best friends is coming down next week to come watch the game with me, and we're going to be doing the whole video game Super Bowl football talk on next week's episode. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and something I've never done before, and it's probably something I'm going to be doing maybe once a month, maybe once every other week, like during the week. And I want to try it out. It's going to be like my top 5. And today I wanted to do my top 5 vampire movies. So coming in at number 5 isn't the best vampire movie or the greatest. It's The Forsaken. And the reason I like this is I'll tell you here in a second. But of course, this is your typical vampire movie. To make a long story short, guy gets hired to drive a car from point A to point B, and on the way he picks up a hitchhiker, which so happens to be a vampire hunter. He's looking for this vampire, but on the way to look for the vampire, they run into this girl that's gotten bitten by the head vampire, and now they gotta go kill the head vampire to save the girl. Typical vampire movie, right? But the reason I like this is because they're in New Mexico. They end up in New Mexico, and they're looking for a hospital because the girl's really sick. And they walk into, was it an old hotel, restaurant, or bar? It's been a while since I see this movie. And they ask this lady where the nearest hospital's at, and she says,
"Look, there's gotta be some place around here we can get her some help."
I told you Fort Stockton's the closest, and it's over 100 miles.
That's right. She says, Fort Stockton, my hometown. And that's why this movie comes in at number 5. So coming in at number 4, Queen of the Damned. This movie was awesome. This is a sequel to Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. I really like this movie. It stars the late Aaliyah. It's unfortunate that we lost such a beautiful and talented artist at such a young age. But this movie was pretty good. What stands out for me the most in this movie was the soundtrack. This has a kick-ass soundtrack. Now, I love heavy metal, and this is the best soundtrack I've heard in a long time. It's got like Disturbed, Korn, System of a Down, Jonathan Davis from Korn, and Linkin Park, to say the least. There's a lot more artists on there, but I highly recommend you pick this movie up. If for anything, the music. The music on this movie is kick ass. Coming in at number 3 has got to be the most violent, bloodiest vampire movie I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not even kidding. It's 30 Days of Night. These vampires aren't those pansy Twilight vampires. These guys have no emotion, they have no feelings. They'll rip your throat out and tear you to shreds without even thinking twice. Now, I I highly recommend this movie if you have kids that aren't behaving and they don't want to listen. Sit their little asses down and have them watch this, and tell them if they don't change their ways, these guys are going to come and get them. I guarantee you, by the end of this movie, you'll have little angels. So I'm down to my last 2. And this was a hard decision for me to make. What's coming in at number 1? What's coming in at number 2? I love both of these movies the same. So I had a really hard time picking out which one I love the most. I love both of them the same. So it made it hard for me to make a decision, because I'm like really nostalgic for both of these. I remember watching these movies when I was growing up. And I know I've seen this one. The one that's going to come in at number 2, I've seen it in the theaters, and I remember walking out of the theaters thinking, what an amazing movie I just watched. And I couldn't wait for it to come out on VHS. Yes, people, VHS. I'm that old. There was no such thing as DVDs back then. So, coming in at number 2, Interview with the Vampire. This is one of those, how can you say this? A vampire movie that was kind of like a love story, maybe. You have Louis, who's just looking for a purpose in life. If there's other vampires out there, he wants to know how everything is the way it is, how he became. Well, he knows how he became a vampire, but he wants to know if there's more vampires out there and try to figure stuff out, life or whatever. And then you got your vampire Lestat, one of those bloodthirsty vampires that don't care about human life. He just wants to feed and have fun and create chaos in him. So yeah, this movie was really good. I'll always love this movie. I still love this movie. As a matter of fact, when I get done filming this, I'm probably gonna watch this one. So yeah, coming in at number 2, Interview with a Vampire. So coming in at number 1 was a vampire movie that was introduced to me by my cousins way back in the day. What year did this movie come out on? Does it say here? 87. Wow. And it was always in the VCR. Yes, the VCR. And we would always watch this movie. And the vampires in this movie were, I guess you could say, they were violent. And they also, almost kind of like the 30 Days of Night vampires, didn't have like any regard for human life. When they were hungry, they would feed. And they were like a gang. They were a gang, and they stuck together, and they killed together, and they were always trying to recruit. And I can remember me and my cousins back in the day were always quoting lines from the movie, because we were always watching it. I remember one of the lines that we would always kind of quote when we're like trying to get each other to like do stuff we didn't want to do. We're always like, Michael, Michael, Michael. And the movie I'm talking about is The Lost Boys. A classic vampire movies from the 80s. This movie was great. We'd always watch it. We would always watch it. It would always, like I said, it was always in the VCR. And when we would finish, we would rewind it, and we'd watch it again, or we'd have it on playing in the background. It's one of those great vampire movies that's not scary. Well, when you're young, it might be a little bit scary, but it's a lot of fun to watch. So, man, if you haven't seen this, where have you been? Living under a rock? Pick this movie up. You need to watch this if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, coming in at number 1, The Lost Boys. So that was my top 5 vampire movies. I've got more. I do have a lot more. I narrowed it down to these 5. My DVD collection is pretty close to 400. I haven't bought a movie in a long time. I really don't buy that many movies like I used to back in the days. But like I said, maybe like once or twice a month I might do like a movie review of a movie that I really care about, that I really like, a movie that I have in my collection. Not really I've never reviewed a movie, so the next time I do this, it's not going to be like on a Friday for the main show. It'll probably be something I'm going to put out like during the week, just a little filler, just to get ready for Friday. So, and I also have some big changes coming to this channel. Actually, this show, it's going to move to a different night. It's not going to be on Fridays no more. I have a show that I'm going to do for Friday nights, and this show might move to Saturday nights, but that's not going to be until maybe March, somewhere around there. And as I get closer, I'll give you more details. This new show that I'll be coming out with is going to be really awesome. I think you guys are going to really like this one. But yeah, next time I do like a movie review during the week or whatever, I'm going to, watch it, study it more, give you some more, try to review the movie and do a good movie review. Because like I said, I've never reviewed a movie. Shit, I've never reviewed a video game. But I just do this for fun to entertain you guys. Anyways, guys, if you have your top 5 favorite movies or vampire movies, horror movies, that's because my DVD collection, like I said, it's almost 400 DVDs, and like half of them is horror movies. So you can expect a lot of horror movie reviews from me, amongst others. But anyways, guys, if you have a favorite movie or stuff you could recommend me watching for me to pick up, leave a comment down below and I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.